Raise your hand if you've read National Geographic or looked at National Geographic, right? So we did a study a couple years ago where we looked at all of the National Geographic articles on Africa over a 10-year period of time, from 1990 to 2000. And we took copies of all of the lead images, the front page, so to speak, of the article on Africa. And there were a little more than a dozen of them. So I'm going to show you those images right now. And I want you can use a piece of paper and write, I want you to look for the patterns of representation. What do you see in these 14 to 16 images and words about Africa? And is it starting to add up to any kind of a pattern of representation by National Geographic of Africa? I'll show each slide for just a few seconds, and then I'll put one slide on that has all of the slides. And we're just going to go around and just mention, it could be one word in terms of patterns. So not a big description right now, but what you saw. We'll start with your time.
Exotic.
Exotic.
Wildlife.
Wildlife.
Flaws.
Flaws.
Desolate.
Desolate.
Poverty.
Poverty.
There was a lot of images of like small people and then like a large background, like incredible landscapes, but really small people.
Large background.
Barren.
Barren.
Nudity.
Nudity.
Like estranged, like different.
Different.
Yeah.
Which connects back maybe to exotic. Other key words that didn't get stated that you want to add? Anybody? Yeah.
Well, when I said flaws, another one, the headline was restoration. So the fact that it needs restoration in the first place.
Interesting. Anybody else? Yeah.
Bright colors.
Bright
Blues
colors.
and oranges.
Say it again.
Blues and oranges.
And browns, I think I saw in there a lot. Anybody else? Caitlin?
There was a lot of like violence and tragedy in like the titles.
Violence and tragedy, particularly in the titles. Anybody want to add any others?
Whenever there's people, they're always like either hunched over or like they don't look like regular people. Like not that there's like a regular people, but they look like kind of extraordinarily different. I think when you go to Africa, or what I've heard, is that a lot of people are actually dressed in like American clothing, and this looks a lot more like cultured, like we're not really imposing anything on them, but they are.
Really interesting. Gita?
I want to say that something that stuck out to me was the word ancient. Like with the African marriage rituals, those are traditional. And with the kingdom of Kush, the ties to something historic.
Do you think this representation perpetuates stereotypes about Africa?
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you think it does. No, isn't everything we saw true about Africa?
Yeah.
All those things weren't invented. So how is it that it's perpetuating the stereotype?
It's only showing what we kind of want to see, because it's showing things that are meant to sell.
Say more what you mean by that.
I mean, it's showing things that are exoticized. It's not showing like the daily life of someone in an African city. It's showing the more exotic, interesting things that are different from our daily lives.
Relena. Thanks, Gita.
Well, I'd say it's probably predominantly people in more Western countries that buy National Geographic.
Yeah.
And so, and people, I'd say we mean people living in Western culture, but we live in a society where people are, influenced by that Western culture, and so it's normal and it's something that we're just used to. And so people, when you're buying a magazine with something like National Geographic that's supposed to be, about nations that aren't yours, you want to see something different that you don't see every day. And so they're not going to emphasize the parts about Africa that are just like where you are, because that's not something people are interested in looking into. They're going to show you what's exotic and special and unique to that continent.
Very good.
What ties into that is the sense of adventure, something that you can't see here on a day-to-day basis, something out of the ordinary. So I think they're emphasizing those things, because like Luciano was saying, there's things that in Africa that we see here, but you don't want to see that in a magazine. You could just see it in real life.
So, Kyra,
Also, you said if it bleeds, it leads. So Central Africa's cycle of violence, that would so.
so is National Geographic intending to perpetuate stereotypes, do you think? Probably there's a lot of people involved in National Geographic that want to undermine stereotypes. Is it perpetuating stereotypes?
Yeah.
Based on this study. Why is it perpetuating stereotypes? You kind of address that. What's the primary thing that National Geographic has to make sure that it does? Sell. And in order to sell, it needs to think about its target audience. It needs to address the interest of its target. In the process of doing that, is it making decisions and choices that perpetuate certain stereotypes about Africa?
Yeah.
Now, if we know that that's the case, and we recognize the kind of inherent bias there towards exotica, towards things that are different, towards a more unusual, brighter colors, or greater violence, we at least have the ability to reflect on that and recognize that what we're getting is a constructed view of Africa through even a very reputable and credible magazine.